Land tenure security is about giving people access to land and secured access to land. Because land gives you identity, land gives you economy, land gives you, belonging and so on.
Many people in the world do not have secure rights to land, and I think that's a very important issue, particularly in settings that experienced civil violence. In order to be able to regain a livelihood, to re-establish their lives, to use the land in an ecologically sustainable way, they need to be sure that the land they are using will remain theirs. In many settings, land rights of people are not assured by the state. And even in conflict-affected settings, people are on the move. And when they return, they might find their land occupied by their neighbors or relatives or even military people. But also institutions that are in charge of land governance. Attribution of land, allocation of land, dispute resolution might be in disarray.
You cannot only claim that only those who have land rights or land titles from the states are landowners. This is really misleading because a lot of people, millions of people living in countrysides have been living there, working there, cultivating there on the same land through customary rights. The transformation should be focused on the way we think about security of land tenure. Because security of land tenure does not mean the same thing for peasants or for organizations or for the state. It's not about having a paper or a land title or something or a paper coming from the state administration. This is not the mean by security. Security means the social recognition of everybody that the land belongs to me. We should not only focus on land tenure security. We have to focus on what these lands can do for people. It's also try to strengthen the capacity for people to use and to benefit from that land. For example, access to credit, to the bank and so on, and to improve their mechanisms of, agricultural mechanisms and techniques, and maybe some improved crops and so on. When we talk about land tenure security, we cannot think about land without thinking about water, about mining, about forests, and so on. So all the process of land tenure security should take into account the interconnection between land and other resources.
What we see as a large risk in those programs is that land tenure registration is not just a technical exercise of better demarcating plots and putting them into a land registration system. It's also about all kinds of political choices, about how rights should be organized at the local level, and about who should be in charge of land registration at community level. In order to contribute to sustainable land tenure in conflict-affected settings, it is very important for different stakeholders, governments, but also donors and development organizations, that this is a highly political process and that we have to be very careful that marginalized people do not lose out in the process.